All right. Thing is, I don't have a live stream preview in this. Anyway, the reliability of this has been pretty good, so I'm going to assume that we are going to have a notification in 1 minute. Yeah. And we do. Look at this. Live on my channel, Astronomy. Let's go here. Hey, look at this. Hey, everybody. It's me. And let me change my user account. Come on. Come on. Okay. I hate how they did this. Okay. Now, if I go here, okay, great. Now I can message as the real Taiwan. Hello, I'm going to say. There you go. All right, now I'm going to turn this off. What we got here is my Maxitoff Cassegrain. It's 127 millimeters, so it's like 5-inch. Celestron, they call it the 127 SLT. And, you know, telescopes are pretty personal. There's a lot of telescope snobbery around. And one thing I can't stand about the hobby is the answer to everything is join a club and get a Dobsonian. Doesn't work for everybody. Look where I am. So yeah, number one, I'm going to find a club. It's going to be in Chinese. And number two, I'm going to drag a Dobsonian up 4 flights and onto the 5th floor. I don't think so. This Celestron, we were able to buy that rant out of the way. This Celestron, we were able to buy a flight case for it. And so basically, the thing about the Maxitoff design is that it's meant for portability. And this box holds everything. Holds all the eyepieces, you know, holds the optical tube on the bottom, the red dot finder, the handset, everything. So all I got to do is carry this box and the tripod, and it's a party, you know. So now I'm getting the optical tube out. It's got a standard Raven dovetail on it. Nothing unusual about this. And it is a compound telescope. Yep. So I'm just going to mount this on, and I'm going to mount it in such a way that I'm going to put the telescope as far forward as I can, because I'm going to put a camera on it. Always getting this dovetail in here is a pleasure. Okay, now we're in here. All right. So yeah, don't let any of the weirdness going on in astronomy forums stop you from getting involved. And, you know, as an engineer, it was real easy for me to figure out what the power supply and polarity was. And I had one in my stock, so I just plug it in, you know. And I also have the I'm going to put this down on the ground, give a little bit more room. I also have the Celestron Wi-Fi module, so the telescope can propagate a Wi-Fi signal. I can connect to it with my phone. It passes the date and time to it, so you don't have to enter that stuff in, and I can control the telescope. Even though it's difficult to do, I managed to arrange to acquire the new StarSense system. So pretty soon I won't have to do any kind of manual alignment whatsoever. I can just do it totally computerized, which is what I want. I mean, I got an 11-year-old daughter. I've actually heard of people saying things like, you shouldn't get a computerized telescope until you learn the stars. And I've heard people make comments like, you should just sell it and get a pair of binoculars and learn how to read the stars. You got to know all the constellations, where everything is, and then you can get a telescope. Like, why? You just wasted 5 years of your time when you could have been looking at stuff. I mean, that's dumb. That's like saying, don't buy a camera that does automatic focus until you learn how to focus, or don't buy a camera that does any kind of auto exposure until you learn how to expose properly. These are just ridiculous assertions that people make. And I ignore all of them. And so should you. Because let me tell you, the computerized telescope has enabled us to see stuff we would not have seen. So, what's the best camera? The one you have with you, the one you're going to use. What's the best telescope? The one that you can see stuff with, right? So let me check for comments. Fortunately, I don't have any astronomy trollers. Haha. Good. Okay, well, we're looking pretty good. I think I may try to bias the face tracking. I just want to make sure this is on. Let's see. Face tracking. Hello. There you go. I'm going to bias it so it's a little bit towards the... Well, I don't want to do that. Hang on. Zooming in. Bias it so it's a little bit that way. There we go. Okay. Now, it's too early. It's actually... it's obviously still very light out. Although when it's dark, the Pocket 3 will compensate and it might be hard to tell. But I'm going to be using the 25mm and the 9mm eyepieces tonight. And before I take any of the, lens caps off, I want to show you that I do have I have a D-ring and a 1 1/4 inch nose that fits into the telescope eyepiece holder. The D-ring will lock onto my Nikon camera and act as a lens. I also have a lens holding adapter. So what you can do is you can take the nose off of this. Gosh, I'm 5 stories up, hoping I don't drop anything. Take the nose off of this baby, right? And so then this would just be the D-ring that would be directly on the camera. And then what you can do is put this guy in here after you've loaded an eyepiece. I also have a 2X Barlow, and the 2X Barlow can go directly on the end of this. The Maxitov has enough of a focal range. I mean, you turn that screw all the way to Memphis, it's amazing. But if you've got like the 25, and with this it's great. I don't really even have to take off the eye cup, but this will fit in there, okay? And, oh, I'm sorry, that's the wrong way. It'll fit in this way. And then, of course, you want to lock it with the set screw so it doesn't fall out. And then you put this in here like this. And so now your camera is looking into the eyepiece, okay? And then the front of this, you put your your nose on, and then this becomes the eyepiece. And the threads are very fine. Don't cross-thread them, or you'll be really sorry that you did. So now I can actually photograph through the eyepiece, and the distance of the eyepiece does make a difference. This one, you can't really move it a whole lot because, well, you can move a little bit, but you don't want to start interfering with the internals of the camera like the mirror. I swing the mirror out of the way with the remote control. I have a 9mm eyepiece that is considerably shorter, and it can float up and down, so you kind of have to find where you want it to be, but it does affect the magnification, although I'm the first to admit I don't have enough experience yet with eyepiece projection. Eyepiece projection is relatively new to me. I've been doing what we call prime focal length, which is where I simply put the nose directly onto the D-ring. So basically the telescope just acts as a huge prime lens. And in this case, it's 1500 millimeters. And I forget what the actual f-stop is. It's not bad. It's something like, don't quote me. I was going to say it's like 5.8. It might be 6 something. I don't remember. I don't think it's possible for me to take the Pocket 3, excuse me, and aim it into the eyepiece and get an image, but we can certainly try. This thing does nothing but impress me as time goes on. I've been using it for the last 3 days or so exclusively for live streaming, plus because I've got the microphone in. All right, I just want to make sure of one thing. I want to make sure I'm absolutely clipped on here. Okay, we are. We're clipped on here because I hate to have this thing drop. Yeah, I got DJI Care, but I don't want it to, you know, fall. Now, a couple of things about how this is set up. This is a standard mount that Celestron uses for a bunch of different telescopes, and so fortunately this telescope does not max it out completely, so it's not like it can't get any heavier than this. So I've got some leeway. I can put the camera on and it can handle it, but the mount can sag a little bit. If you're really serious about astrophotography, and we don't know if we are yet, which is why I don't have, you know, a $1,500 US German equatorial mount, because I don't know if we're going to stick with this or not. I love visual astronomy. I've been a visual astronomer since I was a kid, but I'm just taking the lens off my Nikon we say in Chinese. And I've been a visual astronomer since I was a kid. And thing is astrophotography is brand new to me. So I'm introducing it to my daughter. We're getting a couple photos of things like, you know, Orion Nebula, Jupiter. Saturn is hopeless right now. It's already down this time of year. Tonight, there's a comet, one of the, I don't know if it's the Pan stars, Discovery or not. Anyways, there's a comet over here, and its visual magnitude is 5 point something, well within the resolving power of the telescope. So I'm going to take the objective lens cover off, and I noticed that there was a little piece of dust on the objective lens. You know, when we went to Kaohsiung because of my wife's father being in the ICU, we packed up in a hurry, in a real hurry. Okay. We keep this quite clean, and there was no condensation, anything to worry about. All right. Now, ordinarily, you would put the D-ring with the eyepiece coupler directly, you know, directly on, and you would mount the camera directly this way. The problem is when stars up in the air, yeah, at my age, I'm not going to be doing any bending over. So even though it might be considered technically a no-no, I'm going to tell you it doesn't make any difference, because we have a really nice star diagonal. It's a 90-degree diagonal. And so if we pop this in where the eyepiece goes, pop this in where the eyepiece goes, then I can mount my camera straight up and down like that. And then I can see through the viewfinder. I do not have a Batonov mask yet. These things are hard to find sometimes in Taiwan. Excuse me. But I've also always been a very good visual photographer, and I've been very good at being able to get the focus that I need. I always drape my camera strap that way and minimize the shake. And I do have a Nikon infrared remote control. It's a tiny little thing. And I have the camera set so when I press the button, it pops the mirror up. It doesn't do anything else. And that way you can wait for the telescope to stop shaking. And then when I press the button again, it opens the shutter. And then I press it again, it closes the shutter. So this is like for totally manual photography. And you can sit there and look at your watch and do, you know, count it down like that. I can also, for brighter objects, I can set an actual shutter speed. And I do have the cover for the eyepiece, because if you're doing long exposure photography, you don't want light coming in through the viewfinder back into the through the light path to the sensor. But I found if I'm taking like a 1 second, I'm in a Bortle 6, I think. Bortle 6 is light pollution. I mean, I'm not really worried about it. So this is the setup. I'm not sure what I'm going to do because I need my phone to run the telescope. But I don't think, video skipping a bit, okay. It may be because I tried, thanks Jim, I'm not watching it. I tried, just because I'm on my roof and I'm in the open and I have like a 1 giga 5G here. I actually tried to set it on 1080p as the resolution. So yeah, maybe if you set that down a little bit, you know, move it down a little bit. So I need the phone to control the telescope. Phoenix has her phone; she could use that. So I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure that I cannot control the telescope and run the live stream at the same time. But you know, I have no idea. Because right now I'm looking at the YouTube app and the live stream software is running in the background. So I say, let's do this. Let's turn it on. Let's warm it up. Let's see if I can connect to the Wi-Fi on the telescope and start moving it around without losing the live stream, because right now there isn't anything important going on, and all I wanted to do was kind of show the setup and what we're doing. I've got my newly acquired Ulanzi MT44, which is the greatest selfie stick and tripod ever made, and it's this high. And I've got my video light, which I'm going to use, you know, as a red light. So because I already have yeah. Let me think about this. The camera's connected to the phone by Bluetooth. I don't need Bluetooth, I need Wi-Fi. My Wi-Fi's sitting here doing nothing. I am propagating a hotspot for the camera. So here's what I'm going to do. If we get cut off, we'll come back later when we're actually looking at something. But I wanted to go on right now, test this setup, and just see. So I'm going to go to the Celestron telescope app right now. The Sky Portal it's called. I'm going to see if I can connect, and if I can, we're good. And if I suddenly go bye-bye, then you'll know why. So, thank you. And that says connecting. And by the way, the Pocket 3 just says live. Once you start the live stream, your phone could be put in the crusher and it wouldn't know it. I'm pretty sure, however, if nope, I'm connected. My gosh, it says connection failure, but it's connected. Wow, this may actually work. Hey, let me go back to YouTube. This is astonishing. Okay, are we still on? So, let me see. Let me go back to YouTube. This is astonishing. Oh, wow. We are still on. Oh, my gosh. Go back to YouTube. And let me turn this off. Okay. My gosh. But watch this. So, but when I go back to this app, I have to connect. But it's connected. Hear the noise? Now watch. I can make the telescope go up. See? I can turn it around towards me. Wow. While I'm live streaming. Hey, DJI, whatever it is, you did to your live streaming app, kudos for you. So we got the moon overhead, and it's looking pretty good. So, I don't need to do anything fancy for that. But I think what I'm going to do is go ahead and try to image the moon without being in tracking mode. I don't think it really matters. I'm just going to use the prime focus, and I got to bend down, however, though, because I got to use this red dot finder, which I hate. I'm going to put it on the moon. I'm going to turn the camera on and see what I got here. Okay, camera on, and we're in the mode that I want to be. Let's just see where. Oh yeah, I got to go up so much higher. This is crazy. Actually, oh, I hate this. I got to move this back a little bit. I don't want to move the telescope. All right, here we go. Let's see what we got here. Oh, I hate this. I hate this so bad. I hate these red dot finders. Anyway, this is why I want the StarSense Align system. I just want to be able to press a button and have it scan the sky and know where it is and have everything set up. So what I'll do is, I have a community for this channel. Oh, there it is, right there. I have a community for this channel. And if I get some decent photos out of this thing, I'll post them on the community. But right now, let me take a look. Oh gosh, that's looking great. We don't have a whole lot of so the diopter though is on the. Yeah, we don't have a whole lot of atmospheric. Oh yeah, that actually looks really good. And I also have the handset down here so I can touch up the position of this thing. That's looking pretty good, but I wish I had the Batinoff mask. Oh boy, that's looking really sharp. Camera loosened up a little bit. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to set this on an actual focal length. I mean, sorry, my bad. I'm going to set this on a. Here you go. Open the shutter more is what I'm trying to say. Whoa, whoa, whoa! Don't go crazy on me here. No, come on, there you go. Oh boy, this looks fabulous. Yeah, that was too long. Okay, so trial and error. Oh, it's doing a noise reduction job. Okay, got it. Because it was a long exposure, that's why I can't see it. Yeah, it's totally blown out. Okay. So I need to stop this way down. Looking like a 250th of a second. That would have been my best shot, but the moon moved out of the frame. Oh, it hurts my back. Oh gosh. Okay, go down. Go down. There we go. I gotta turn the motor speed down so I'm not. There you go. Oh, gosh. Motor speed 7. Oh yeah. Okay, we're gonna have some pictures in the YouTube community. This looks great. This is fantastic. And it looks quite in focus. I'm going to check it again, but it's hard because I wear glasses and there is a diopter on the eyepiece, and the diopter can influence, you know, your perception of sharpness. But as far as I can tell, this is about as sharp as I can get it. Now the other thing we can do while we're here is I can take this out and I can put the Barlow on, and I can get some double focal length shots. All right, I know it's hard to see. This is an old camera, and it's hard to see. It's an old camera, and the display's kind of dim. But I did get a pretty, put my face in. I did get a pretty good lunar shot, and it a couple of them, and it looks like the sharpness and the quality is not bad. So what I'm going to do, because I can, and I'm still sussing this whole thing out and trying to get an idea what's going on, and there's no way I'm looking at comments because I'm just too busy, and I'm sorry, and I'm looking at the the control app was in the foreground last. I'm going to put the Barlow lens on and just put it into the eyepiece, and this will double my prime focus. So I'm going to have to realign the moon, however, so I got to get down on my hands and knees. One thing about the go-to system is once you have it aligned and it knows where it is, you know the telescope's been moving because you've been goofing around with it. You just press go-to again and it will put it back. But I don't have it aligned because there aren't any stars out yet. There's only the moon. Oh, it's not too far off. It should be right here. Yeah, right about there. Let's see. And I never know which way to go. The Barlow, back in or out, I'm not sure. I'm just gonna try this. There we go. Yeah, we're coming into focus now. We're right on the limb of the moon. Oh my goodness. That is phenomenal. I see Tycho right away. Oh yeah. And it's a little bit dark, so okay, that's overexposed. Yeah. It's my ISO. I'm gonna set my ISO up just a little bit because the Nikon is actually known for pretty noise-free kind of photos, and there is a noise reduction algorithm, and in my photography editing software there's noise reduction too, so it shouldn't be too big of a problem. Okay. Go down, go down. Wow, I gotta really slow this motor down. Yeah, here we go. Oh boy, this is nice. Oh yeah. Wow. I'm very impressed with this, and I haven't even begun to get into the eyepiece projection. The whole idea about using a remote is that what it does is it opens the shutter, or excuse me, it opens the mirror. And then you wait a second until everything stops shaking. Oh yeah, that's getting way better. This is pretty impressive. I like this. Phoenix is doing a project for school, and I'm helping her with the engineering. All right, in a second I'll take this off and I'll just show you a couple things. Right now we got some shots at the Terminator. All right, let me take this off. So this was prime focus plus prime focus plus the Barlow. There you go. Prime focus plus Barlow, and took me a second to get that out. All right, let me see what I can do here. I'm getting. Stop it. I'm getting shots like this. Yeah, that was just that was from the helicopters the other day. The limb of the moon, you know, and some pretty decent detail. That was way overexposed. It's underexposed a little bit, and that's, you know, again, the limb. It's so much better when it's a crescent because you've got side lighting, and with the side lighting, you know, you can see so much more detail. So let me go ahead. I'll put a cap on the on the nose of this thing, and if I can, I don't think it comes with a cap. I better put a cap on the Barlow lens here. We're in the dirty industrial park, that's for sure. I'll just invert this on the case. Let me go ahead back to the YouTube app and see what we got. Okay, so I think we're still alive. Okay, so I think we're still alive. We are. This is incredible. I did a live stream a couple of weeks ago about the Pocket 3 being a disappointing camera for live streaming, right? Not anymore. My word, it's amazing. So, it's going to get dark, and we're going to concentrate on the astronomy. I don't know how much fun it's going to be, but let me go ahead. I can't do it right now because the camera doesn't have Wi-Fi. I can't connect to the camera. Later on, I'll go downstairs on the PC. I'll pick out a couple of these photos, and I'll put them in the Real Taiwan community so you can see exactly what we're doing. But I am really happy with the results. We're going to try to image Jupiter later using the same technology. And Jupiter's out right now. I can see it. It's like right next to the moon. It's like, you know, 5 degrees away. So I prefer to wait till other stars are out so I can get an alignment, and then the scope will track, and then I don't have to keep working it because, you know, Jupiter's a tiny thing. It's very dim. I have to have the shutter open longer, and I don't want any streaks. You know, I want the telescope to track. So the other thing I learned was I think if I run in 1080p, it's just too much. So I don't see any reason to run more than 1080p. But I knew that this, right this second, wasn't all that, you know, wasn't such an important live stream. But I just want to talk a little bit about what we're doing up here, why we're doing it, and so forth. And I rebuilt these lights. There's a light up here, the pole, and over here. I rebuilt these lights like 15 years ago. Now I'm going to have to go and put, I'm going to have to make some red filters for them so I can wash everything in red light, and that'll help. So, all right, I'm going to say goodbye. I want to thank everyone for joining, and thanks DJI for fixing your live streaming issues. I really appreciate it. So this is great. We may be on later tonight. I don't know. I know it's kind of early. It's a weird time for North America and also for Europe, but hey, we're on when we can go on and when we're doing stuff, and it's just after sundown now. Local time right now is 18:09, and we've got, it's glorious. I've never seen the skies this clear as I have this week. Over in the east and the northeast, there aren't any clouds. Over here in the west and the south, I don't see any clouds on the horizon. If I walk over here, I can see the Taiwan Strait. I can see water. So, yeah, is that a big ship out there? Hey, I might put the telescope on that. Thanks so much for joining, guys. I'm going to sign off right now, and we'll say, take care. See you later. What's the guy used to say? Keep looking up? Yeah. That's probably a pretty good tagline. Just keep looking up. Yeah, I'm looking up.